The deadliest avalanche in the United States in 45 years has now killed at least 8 people near Lake Tahoe, and a 9th is still missing under a mountain that has added 3 more feet of snow since the slide. 3 of the 4 professional guides on the trip are dead. The victims include 7 women and 2 men, most of them mothers of children at a local ski academy who had planned this as an annual backcountry trip together. One of the dead is the spouse of a member of the very search and rescue team that was sent to find her. A criminal-grade investigation is underway, and the bodies are still on the mountain tonight because the snowpack is too unstable for anyone to bring them home. But here is the detail that tells the real story. On Monday, the day before the avalanche, Blackbird Mountain Guides posted a video on Instagram. In it, a guide digs into the snowpack and shows the camera what he finds. He describes atypical layering for our normal mid-season snowpack, a particularly weak layer in many northerly aspects across various elevation bands. He warns that avalanches could behave abnormally, and the hazard could last longer than normal. In a now deleted comment beneath the video, the company used the warning to promote its avalanche safety courses. That video was posted while the group of 15 skiers was already in the field. They had hiked in on Sunday, carrying all food and supplies to a set of remote huts at 7,600 feet. The avalanche watch had been issued that same Sunday at 6:49 in the morning. The group was not coming. The group was already there. To understand how this turned from an adventure into the worst avalanche disaster in modern California history, you have to follow the warnings that were issued in order, and then watch what happened anyway. On Sunday, February 16th at 6:49 a.m., the Sierra Avalanche Center issued an avalanche watch for the Central Sierra Nevada, including the Castle Peak area. The center warned that large slides were likely within 24 to 48 hours. That same morning, 15 skiers, 11 clients, and 4 guides set out for the Frog Lake backcountry huts. The huts sit at 7,600 feet in the Tahoe National Forest. The Truckee Donner Land Trust, which operates the huts, describes the terrain on its website as carrying avalanche hazard on the standard return route. The terrain had been closed to the public for nearly a century before the Land Trust purchased it and opened the huts in 2020. The trip cost each participant $1,165. It was rated for intermediate to expert skiers, with at least 20 days of backcountry experience. By Sunday evening, snow was already falling. By Monday, accumulations were climbing rapidly. On Monday evening, the Sierra Avalanche Center noted that high-intensity snowfall was loading onto a known weak layer. On Tuesday at 5 a.m., the center upgraded the watch to a full avalanche warning, the second highest alert in the system. The language was not ambiguous: rapidly accumulating snowfall, weak layers in the existing snowpack, gale force winds, natural avalanches, likely, human-triggered avalanches large enough to bury or injure people, very likely. Travel in avalanche terrain is not recommended. At 11:30 a.m., 6.5 hours after that warning was published, the group of 15 was heading down toward the Castle Peak trailhead near Boreal Mountain Ski Resort. They were together when someone saw the wall of snow and yelled one word. It overtook them rather quickly. Castle Peak rises to 9,110 feet in the Donner Summit area, 8 miles northwest of Truckee, a town of 17,000 near the California and Nevada border. The Frog Lake huts are situated in a basin surrounded by steep, north-facing slopes, exactly the terrain where persistent weak layers are most dangerous. The standard route back to the trailhead runs 3.5 miles through what the Land Trust itself calls numerous avalanche hazards. Pull back further. Castle Peak sits directly adjacent to Interstate 80, the main artery connecting Sacramento to Reno. That highway was closed in both directions across 60 miles on Tuesday. Highway 50 was closed. State Route 88 was closed. 3 Sierra crossings shut simultaneously. Helicopter rescue was impossible due to weather. Rescuers had to ski in from 2 directions through whiteout conditions that took hours to navigate. By the time they reached the survivors, it was nearly 10 p.m., more than 10 hours after the slide. Here is the fact that should rewrite how America thinks about guided backcountry skiing. The 6 survivors had already located 3 of the dead by the time rescuers arrived. They had sheltered under a tarp, communicating with the outside world through satellite beacons that could send text messages. One guide was able to text back and forth with emergency responders during the event. The rescue teams, roughly 50 personnel, deployed from Nevada County, Placer County, Tahoe, Nordic Search and Rescue, and the state of Nevada, found the remaining 5 bodies. 8 of the 9 are now confirmed dead, 1 remains missing. The victims were found fairly close together. Rescuers could not remove the bodies from the mountain. They marked them with avalanche poles so they could be located again when conditions allow. But that was only half the problem. The avalanche measured D 2.5 on the destructive force scale, the avalanche equivalent of the enhanced Fujita scale for tornadoes. A D 2.5 is strong enough to bury, injure, or kill a person. A D3 would destroy a house. The persistent weak layer that caused the failure is still there, and it has since reloaded with 3 more feet of snow. Zeb Blaze, lead guide and co-owner of Blackbird Mountain Guides, confirmed that all 4 guides were either certified or trained in backcountry skiing and certified to teach through the American Institute for Avalanche Research and Education, AIARE. Blackbird was named the #1 AIARE course provider in the country for 2024 and 2025. These were not amateurs. This was not negligence in the traditional sense. This was a group of trained professionals who knew the weak layer existed, who described it on camera the day before, and who were caught in the field when the storm arrived faster and harder than anyone in the Sierra had seen in years. Nevada County Sheriff Shannan Moon said at the Wednesday press conference that there were lots of forecasts for this storm and that these were decisions the guide company clearly had made. The sheriff said her office is still in conversation with Blackbird about the decision factors involved. And this is where the numbers stop being statistics. The San Francisco Chronicle reported that the trip was organized by a group of mothers whose children attend Sugar Bowl Academy, an independent ski school near Donner Summit. Executive Director Stephen McMahon confirmed that multiple members of the Sugar Bowl Academy community and others with strong connections to Sugar Bowl, Donner Summit, and the backcountry community died in the slide. Placer County Sheriff Wayne Wu revealed that one of the 9 victims is the spouse of a member of the Tahoe Nordic Search and Rescue Team. That team was among the 50 responders dispatched to the scene. The person who went in to search for the missing was searching for the body of someone they had shared a life with. Wu said it had been challenging emotionally for our team. How does a guided group with 4 certified professionals, full avalanche safety gear, and a company that literally teaches avalanche courses end up buried on a route they knew was dangerous during a warning that told them not to travel? How does the most qualified avalanche education provider in the country lose 3 of its 4 guides to the exact hazard they train others to avoid? And if the weak layer is still there and 3 more feet of snow are sitting on top of it, and the bodies of 8 people are marked with poles on a mountain that no one can safely reach, what does it mean that the season is not even half over? Somewhere near Frog Lake tonight, at 7,600 feet, the snow has not stopped. The poles are still standing, and the mountain still has not given back what it took.